guys, so today I have swatches of two new collections from Glitter Daze. I have the Futuristic collection, which is 6 polishes, and the Spring Whimsy collection, which is 6 polishes. So 12 altogether. These are available right now. I will link the Glitter Daze website down below where you guys can check these out, and then we'll get into the swatches. So the first polish from the Futuristic collection is called Virtual, and this is a multi-chrome with, it's like a holographic multi-chrome. And I really have a hard time describing multi-chromes. A lot of these, they look similar in the bottle, but they definitely shift to different tones. So I'm going to refer to this as the more blue-toned shifting polish because it's hard for me to pick out every color, especially when the holographic gets in there, because that holographic adds an extra rainbow effect. It looks really cool, but it makes it really difficult to pick out all the colors. So here is one coat. So this one is a bit sheer on that first coat. Most multi-chromes actually are a bit sheer on the first coat, but they tend to build up really well. Great formula on this. So here is 2 coats, and this one does cover completely in 2. And the holographic does get a little bit stronger as it dries, but the combination of holographic and multi-chrome, I feel like I've seen it before, but I don't think it blew me away like it did in these polishes. The next one that I'm going to do especially. So there is 2 coats of Virtual. So the next polish is called Synthetic, and this is more of like a red gold shifting multi-chrome with that holographic added. So here is one coat. And like all multi-chromes, this one is a little bit sheer on that first coat. Great formula on this one. So here is 2 coats. And this one does cover completely in 2. And now that it's fully dry on at least these 2 nails, and you can see the holographic in its full effect, it shows so many different colors at once. This one just absolutely blew me away. I actually took a picture of this, of the camera viewfinder when I swatched this, and texted that picture to like 4 people because I couldn't believe how amazing it looked, and it looked just as good as in person. And I try not to like rave about polishes in these videos. There's no good reason, I just try not to, but I can't help it because this one is so amazing. I haven't been this like wowed by a polish in a long time. And that's coming from someone that traditionally doesn't really like multi-chromes that much. But there is 2 coats of Synthetic. And the next polish is called Zeno, and this is more of a purple-based multi-chrome, purple-based, I guess purple shifting multi-chrome with that holographic added. So here is one coat. Again, a bit sheer on that first coat, but they do build up well. Great formula on this one as well. So here is 2 coats, and this one does cover completely in 2. And I know this is kind of, I mean, everyone uses top coat anyway, but these also do dry shiny. So there is 2 coats of Zeno. The next polish is called Parallel, and this is a silver holographic micro flake with these kind of reddy pink to gold shifting multi-chrome flakes in there. So here is one coat. And this is definitely sheer enough to be used as a topper, but it can be built up pretty decently in 3 coats also. Formula is great because these are those little light holographic flakes and not glitter. It's not thick at all. It applies really easily, and it's not going to dry textured. So here is 2 coats. So this is starting to build up pretty nicely in 2. I do still have quite a few gaps there, so I'm going to do a third. And I mentioned that these will not dry textured at all. They won't be difficult to remove off of the nail either because this is all flake. Those little flakies will definitely stick to the skin. So here is 3 coats. And 3 coats does pretty much cover completely. You might still have some bald spots in between the flakes, and you definitely have to do a little bit of spot treatment, I guess, on the end of your nails. But there's so much going on that it will be really difficult to tell if you have any bald spots after 3 coats. So there is 3 coats of Parallel. The next polish is called Cyborg, and this is those same holographic silver flakes, but the multi-chrome flakes in this one are more of a blue-purple shifting multi-chrome. So here is one coat. Again, on the first coat, definitely sparse enough to be a topper, but also builds up pretty well on its own in 3. Great formula on this one as well. There are 3 of these polishes altogether, and they all are pretty much identical aside from the different colored multi-chrome flakes. So here's 2 coats. And this one is starting to build up nicely in 2. Actually, depending on how you apply it and your preferences, you might be fine with 2. I just prefer the way that these look with 3 coats. So here is 3 coats. And 3 coats does cover completely. Like I said for the last one, you might have to do a couple of spot treatment, I guess dabbing motions on the end of the nail to cover up the nail line. And you probably will have a few gaps between the flakies, but with the holographic and the multi-chrome, it's so busy to look at that you'll never actually be able to pick those out. So there is 3 coats of Cyborg. So the last polish for the Futuristic collection before we get into the spring polishes is called Cosmonaut, and this is the same silver holographic flakes with multi-chrome flakes in it. These multi-chrome flakes are more of a pink, gold, green shifting. So here is 1 coat, and this one is identical to the other ones, a little bit sparse on that first coat, just sparse enough to be used as a topper if you wanted to. Great formula on this one as well. So here's 2 coats. And like all the other ones, I said before, these are pretty much identical formula-wise. This is starting to build up, but I'm going to add a 3rd. And it will dry smooth as well, which I also already said. So here is 3 coats. Oh my gosh, stop. And like the other ones, this one does cover pretty much completely on that 3rd coat. Way too busy to be concerned about any of the spaces that might be there, because they are really hard to pick out. This is a totally random thought, but I actually feel like the multi-chrome flakies blend into those silver holographic flakies much better in this polish compared to the other 2 that were the same finish. So there is 3 coats of Cosmonaut. So the next 6 polishes are from the Spring Whimsy collection. This first one is called Splendiferous, and this is a kind of aqua blue jelly base with holographic silver flakes and then these iridescent flakies in there as well. So here is 1 coat. So the base itself here is a pretty sheer blue, but there is a ton of stuff packed within that base. So you're getting most of your coverage from what's added in and not the actual color of the base. How many times can I say base? Great formula on this one. So here is 2 coats. This one is starting to build up well on the 2nd coat, and I think depending on your preference, you could probably get away with 2 for this one. I can make my nail line out just a little tiny bit more than I prefer, so I am going to add a 3rd coat, but I don't think it's entirely necessary for everyone. So here is 3 coats. And 3 coats does cover completely here. Like I said before, you'd probably be fine with 2 depending on your preference. I just wanted to cover up my nail line a little bit more. And also those iridescent flakes that are in there are going to stick up from the nail a little bit, and the polish overall dries a little bit dull, so you will want top coat. So there is 3 coats of Splendiferous. The next polish is called Scrumdiddlyumptious, and this is a green, almost like a bit of a sea green, a tiny bit blue. It's showing up way more blue on camera, with those silver holographic flakes and iridescent flakes as well. So here is 1 coat. And like the last one, the base itself is a bit sheer. You definitely get more of your coverage out of the flakies than you do the base color. Great formula on this one. So here is 2 coats. So this one is still just a tiny bit sheer. The color's building up well, but I can make out my nail line. So I am going to do a 3rd coat, and I really don't want to do that because I really have to go to the bathroom. So here is 3 coats. So 3 coats does not build the color up really anymore. It just fills in those gaps and covers the nail line completely. And like I said, for the last one, those iridescent flakes are going to stick up a little bit, so you will want top coat to cover those, and it also dries a little bit dull. So there is 3 coats of Scrumdiddlyumptious. The next polish is called Razzle Dazzle, and this is an orange jelly base with those silver holographic flakes and iridescent flakes. So here is 1 coat. Again, more of a sheer base, but packed with those different flakes. Great formula on this one. So here is 2 coats. And I do still have a bit of nail line showing with this one, so I'm going to do a 3rd. But I'm also being pretty picky, so if you're not picky at all, you'd probably be fine with the 2nd coat. So here is 3 coats. And 3 coats covers completely. Really, the more I looked at it, my middle finger and my pointer finger were the only ones that I think really needed a 3rd coat. I unintentionally did thicker coats on my ring finger and my pinky finger, and they covered completely in 2. So there is 3 coats of Razzle Dazzle. The next polish is called Kerfuffle, and this is a bright pink with those silver holographic microflakes and iridescent flakes. So here is 1 coat. And compared to the other ones, this one covers really well on the first coat. It definitely has the most saturated base out of any of the other ones so far, and a great formula on this one as well. So here is 2 coats, and this one does cover completely in 2 for me. A lot of the other ones were really close, but this one is definitely there. It has a much more saturated base color than any of the other ones. And like I said before, these do dry a tiny bit dull, so you will want top coat. So there is 2 coats of Kerfuffle. The next polish is called Zing, and this is a more reddy purple. There's another purple coming up after this that isn't quite as reddish, with those silver holographic flakes and iridescent flakies as well. So here is 1 coat. This one has a little bit more sheer of a base, but not as sheer as some of the others. Great formula on this one as well, and I've noticed I haven't had as big of a problem getting the flakes off of my skin after I remove the polish. By the end of these videos, if I do quite a few with the same finish in a row, I'll have little silver flakies all over my skin, but there are only like a few stragglers right now. I'm not having that hard of a time removing them from my skin. So here is 2 coats. This one is still a little bit too sheer for me on the second coat, so I'm going to do a third. But like I said, for a lot of the other ones, that is just me being picky. So here is 3 coats. 3 coats does cover that bit of nail line that I had showing completely, but like when I swatched the orange one, I think it was, I really only needed it on a couple of nails where I wasn't quite as heavy-handed as on the rest. And sometimes, I don't know if you can see that, you do get really large iridescent flakes that take a little bit more manipulation to place them correctly on the nail. So there is 3 coats of Zing. And the last polish is called Abracadabra, which is more of a true grapey purple base with those silver holographic flakes and iridescent flakes. Here it is next to Zing, so you can see they're similar, but Zing, actually they look way more similar on camera, but Zing is a little bit more of a reddy purple. So here is 1 coat. This one is also a bit sheer on the first coat, but still not as sheer as some of the other colors. Great formula on this one as well. So here is 2 coats. And this one does cover completely in 2. Depending on your application, you might want a 3rd coat, but I kind of doubt it. If you do get any of those flakes, because some of those flakes are pretty large, if you get any sticking off the end of the nail, I usually just do one of those and push it back in while it's still wet. So there is 2 coats of Abracadabra. So synthetic is by far my favorite. I love this polish. I'm not really a big fan of multi-chromes just in general. I've seen them, they've been done, like I'm not a huge fan of them. And I've seen holographic in multi-chromes before, but for some reason it's never stood out to me as much as this one did. When the holographic is added, you get all the colors of the shift from the multi-chrome, but then at the same time you get like a rainbow reflection from the holographic, and it just looks amazing. The picture that I have of this, like my swatch picture, turned out so good, and it looks that good in person too. It's incredible. So by far, synthetic is my favorite. So those are the 2 new collections from Glitter Daze. Again, I will link the website down below where you can check those out because they are all available right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.